I made this record for you to jam, so use it.
From the theme parks to downtown brick streets, from winter garden to sandy bare feet, everywhere the light touches is our kingdom. We're spilling tea and dropping wisdom. Don't worry about missing the headlines. We're here to help. It's the Orlando Shine.
Welcome to the Orlando Shine Show. I'm Brendan O'Connor from Orlando Shine. John, my regular co-host, is up in Detroit hanging out with his mom for a bit, but in his stead, I invited my infamous gay boyfriend, Scottie Campbell.
Hey, everyone.
How you doing, Scottie?
Here I am on the Orlando Shine Show.
First
making
time
my
ever.
debut.
Yeah, your debut.
I'm a virgin.
You are, debutante. Here. We're hanging out at City Hall today in their City Beautiful Cafe, which is this amazing cafe in downtown
don't sleep
Orlando.
on it. Really good food.
Yeah, amazing.
Good service.
The food is so great, and
Yeah.
the owner's fantastic, and they've been going through it. You know, the city, a piece of the facade fell off, so we were all shocked to discover that the structure in front of City Hall is not, in fact, solid granite or marble. It is.
Were we surprised? That's the way they're building things
right?
these days.
It's cement with a veneer that
Yeah.
was apparently just liquid nails on, and
Okay.
a piece of it fell off in the right of way where people could have been hit.
Yeah.
And so they had to put up some bike barricades and some scaffolding to keep people from getting smacked if another piece fell off.
So really lucky something hasn't happened before now. Right?
Yeah, apparently. I don't know how anyone thought that liquid nails would keep anything on long term, especially outside.
Guess this building is ready for the next Lethal Weapon movie.
If you don't know what
do
Scottie's
it.
talking about, Scottie, tell him what you're talking about.
Well, it was Lethal Weapon 2. How many of those did they
One
make?
of them.
They blew up the old City Hall.
Uh-huh.
And so you had Mel Gibson and Danny Glover running out of the building just as it was exploding right here where we're sitting. It was an exciting night. I actually hung out with some friends outside Big Bang and waited for it to implode. It didn't even explode. It imploded. And it was crazy because it was right next to this building. And I think there was some damage to windows, but it was an amazing thing to see.
There's some great footage of it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and I think we shared that early on in Orlando
and
Shine's
Mayor
days.
Frederick has a cameo in the movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love it. He worked that into the movie deal, I bet.
Yeah, you can learn more about it at the History Center
At
right
the History Center.
now. Work that in, too.
How's your week going, Scottie? You've been busy with this
it
Downtown Orlando Employee Partnership Employee Appreciation Week.
It's DOP and the DDB. So Downtown
Yeah, you know
Orlando
me.
Partnership and the Downtown Development Board
Yes.
do this thing called the Downtown Employee Appreciation Week. And they're like little pop-ups here and there. So it introduces downtowners to the businesses as well as gets people out and about. And in my capacity at the History Center, we hosted one. And we had Sampa Guida and the
That's
Greenery
the
Creamery for free, thanks
Filipino
to Marie
ice cream
Mercado.
shop, yeah.
Mercado. I'm
Recently
butchering her name right now.
That's okay. Recently featured in National Geographic.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, as part of that Meals 50 roundup that they did.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, which, I think is funny because there was also just a stabbing around the corner. They didn't cover that in the National Geographic.
Mills 50 is going through some growing pains, I think.
Growing
right now.
pains. Well, there's some holdouts, from its gritty days as a gutter punk haven. And and it's been gentrified a little bit by some restaurant groups and become something a little different. So there's these little armpit holdouts where the gutter punks are still trying to hang out and do their drugs and stab each other in peace.
You know a lot about this.
I've been watching. I was just on Fox 35 as part of a new...
congrats.
Thank you very much. They have a segment there. It's new. You can follow them on Facebook called The 407. And they want,
cool.
Yeah. So it sounds like I might be a frequent flyer on the 407
Yay.
talking about just being a talking head. I think they just wanted a sassy gay person on there.
We're going to create a drinking game. Every time you say Orlando Shine, you can drink.
Take a drink. Yeah, it's me and my friend Marlisa. She's new. She came from by way of Baltimore. I don't know where she was before that. Maybe Atlanta.
Oh, and you have relatives in Baltimore?
I do.
Or had?
Well,
right?
I do, and the ones that are left are the not fun ones that are getting a little political on the socials.
That's everybody on my biological father's side.
Oh, yeah?
That you just described.
We
yeah.
should just introduce them to each other, and they
Maybe.
can just be mad in private. I covered Halloween Horror Nights this week. I got to go on that RIP tour.
All by yourself, too. I'm so
I only
proud.
got
You're
the
so
one
brave.
invite.
You're so brave.
Well, yes, I am.
Well, no,
brave.
that's I wasn't saying that. I was just saying that you are. I don't want to out you, but you're a bit of a fraidy cat. So
I am a giant fraidy cat.
Yeah.
I'll out myself. It's okay, Scottie.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm so much of a scaredy cat. I got that little red light that you wear, so the scare zone actors don't harass you. I didn't tell you that. I spent $20 on it. Sorry.
Oh my gosh.
I know, but worth
Wow.
it just for the gram. I also did Howl to Scream last week on Friday, so
Yeah.
a little bit of a comparison. I feel like Horror Nights is fun in every. I actually think Howl to Screams was scarier because people can get in your face more. I feel like Horror Nights has been
little
it's
more
more
dangerous,
family friendly.
Yeah.
And there's just way more people. Like
Yeah.
it's just the scary part at Horror Nights is just the legions of upset people in the lines who are waiting to get into those haunted houses.
It takes a while. Those passes are worth the
Yeah,
expense. For
R.I.P.
Sure. Yeah.
I tell you, and there was a private air-conditioned bar with its own private restroom.
I
if
saw
you're
that
on the
looked
tour,
pretty cool. That's on our Instagram, right?
Yeah, it's on the Orlando Shine over on the gram. I think
Yeah.
it should have automatically shared itself to Twitter too, but let me know if you don't see it there,
Yeah,
Scottie,
yeah.
since you're in charge of the Twitter.
Yeah, the Twitter and the blue sky. That's me. I'm a little behind, so don't judge.
Oh
right
no!
now. Yeah,
I've been
I'll
loading
catch
in
up.
the
It's
graphics
weekend.
for you in the folder.
Well, good. I'm glad you're doing your
Okay,
part.
me too.
That's a change.
Now I can blame you. Also, we were invited by Universal Studios. I have to say, they invited us to go do a fright and drinks flight.
Yeah,
That's hard for me to say. I had to do
Fright-
that retake a few times.
fright and
Frights
drinks
and drink flight at Portofino Bay, Hard Rock Cafe, and Cabana Bay. They all have like a Horror Nights related, inspired drink menu that you can only get at those hotels. And so they're trying to capture that traffic from
sure.
Horror Nights to go to those hotels
It's,
first.
it's just great that no matter your comparisons, etc. I just like that Orlando has this weird thing where we've just become known as a Halloween destination.
I love that. And, and I will say, actually, one takeaway is maybe go eat at, like, Hard Rock Cafe or one of the hotels that's connected to the park, and then leave your car there, and then go do the thing at Horror Nights.
You think that's...
I think it's kosher.
Think it's okay to do that?
Well, they took us on the tour, and then we walked in which I've never done,
Yeah.
from Hard Rock Hotel
I've never
into
done
the
that
park.
either in all the
Scottie,
years.
so easy.
Yeah.
So beautiful. The check-in was a breeze. There were just 2 security guards there, 2 ladies that were
Yeah.
just happy to see somebody coming through. And if you're looking for a spot to make out, definitely that walk in between the hotel
Yeah.
and Horror Nights, you could
There's
have a little romantic.
I know what you're
rendezvous.
saying because there are paths. Like I've walked from other hotels into City Walk, and there would be good makeout spots
Yeah.
there.
So if you're
It
looking,
might be on Snithies. We don't know.
if you don't know what that is, ask your husband. He'll tell you all about it. Want to talk news?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, I don't think we addressed this last week with John, but it's
Okay.
fine because it's you, so we'll go over it.
I
quick.
didn't listen.
Edgewater, you did. How dare you? Edgewater Hotel in Winter Garden sold to new owners.
Oh, okay.
Historic Edgewater Hotel for a reported $10.3 million, which is crazy. And to tell you how old this hotel is, when it was first made when Lake Apopka was a huge fishing destination.
Okay.
People would fly in or train in to go fish for bass in Lake Apopka before
Okay.
it got polluted
Okay.
from all the muck farms and stuff.
Right.
And so that hotel has a spot where it's a sink. It's like a dressing sink where you could gut your
Oh,
fish
yeah.
and then
All
you
right.
give it to the chef.
Very cool.
And then they would prepare it for you. And I hope
So-
they keep it.
So, is there a caveat to the sell? Are they? It's a preserved
We don't know.
or
We're hoping. We don't know what their plans are
Okay.
for the space. The assumption is that yes, they will continue operating it as a hotel. It also has some kind of locally famous spots like Thai Blossom is in there. Scoop's Old Fashioned Ice Cream is in the same building.
Okay.
and chef's table at the Edgewater is also in that building. So we're hoping that they get to honor their leases and they don't kick any of those operators out.
Yeah. It's unfortunately in Central Florida, it's always a question whether they're going to preserve or flatten. So.
Yeah, we'll talk about the opposite of flatten. Did you hear what Clermont's doing? I don't think you got to see this.
I did see that story. Yeah, that you can put your flag up as high as you want.
As high as you want, as long as there are some restrictions. Like it can't go too high that it hits an airplane. Because of HOA. Or not HOA, what are they called?
FDIC.
Yeah, like airplane guidelines. You can't tickle the bottoms of any airplanes
FAA,
or helicopters.
FAA,
that sounds right. FAA. Clermont City Council voted 4-1 to propose an ordinance that exempts American flag poles from city standard height restrictions.
So,
because somebody got mad. There was a really tall one, and then somebody who doesn't live in Clermont was like, that's too tall, and then that should be taken down.
So what about hurricanes? Is that not because it's a pole?
You have to prove that it's hurricane-proof. It's part of, so it still has to be building standards apply.
Of
it
all
can't
the
tickle
things,
any airplanes.
All the things to deal with in the world.
Yeah.
I can see why this guy thought that was a priority.
But everything else that is not, like if you don't have a flagpole if it's not an American flag,
right,
limited to 30 feet. Because America. Only American flags can be raised that high. That's the most American rule I've ever heard.
Yeah,
I don't think it's bad. I just think it's funny.
I just don't think it's a burning issue. But
small town politics.
Yeah, I guess so.
A bartender, we kind of hinted at this. A bartender was arrested after stabbing a man. Oh no, we talked about this last week, so we don't need to get into it, Scotty. But I mean, it's still trending. If you want to see it on OrlandoShine.com. A young man, 30 years old, was arrested for allegedly stabbing a patron like 10 times.
Right.
In the head, jaw, ear, and back outside of Grumpy's Underground in Mills 50.
I hope it
sounds really grumpy.
I hope it starts discussions like you added on to it about the what you learned from that night manager in New Orleans, and I hope it does.
Because they have a rule: if someone's fighting in the bar, you never let them leave together. You separate them and stagger their exits.
The issue here, rather than working with they should be working with bars. The city should be. The county should be, and not trying to work against, which
I agree.
is what I think is happening.
And that should be standardized, actually. If you want to get a liquor license, go through this safety thing. Yeah. And all your staff has to do it, too.
And you would think that the business owners would want that, too. Easy for me to say, I don't have a bar. So.
Yeah, because,
Yet.
Oh, I don't trust you, though. Cape Canaveral installed reef arches offshore.
Yeah,
Someone got mad at me because I said offshore in application to the lagoon. I guess you can only say offshore if it's ocean offshore. Someone got really mad at me about it, and they were in the comments.
Is it the same guy who passed the legislation about the flagpole?
About the flagpole? Maybe.
Good Lord.
I know. I was like, it's still offshore. It's still a shore if it's the lagoon. Can you not say offshore if it's in a lagoon? I don't know.
I don't know.
That's a rabbit hole I'm not ready to go down.
No.
Cape Canaveral placed 10 massive concrete reef arches. They each weigh 1,200 pounds in the Indian River Lagoon to protect its wastewater treatment plant from storms and storm surge, and I love it. So it's like increasing habitat, fighting erosion.
Between the shores.
Betwixt the shores.
Between shores.
Oh, that's the name of my new young adult novel. Betwixt the shores.
Betwixt the shores.
Betwixt the shores. # those aren't pillows. Did you hear that about that Ponzi scheme guy?
Yeah, well, I read about it on the Orlando Shine.
I haven't seen a lot of people pick it up. There was Orlando police arrested 74-year-old James Anthony Edwards in connection with an alleged $5.3 million real estate Ponzi scheme named after Mr. Ponzi from back in the day.
Yeah.
Not a Muppet, but that's a great Muppet name. He would promise high returns to investors to buy, renovate, and resell homes. It's like kind of like wash their cash, basically. You invest a chunk of change, and he would give it back to you with a huge return, and which I guess is a big no-no. in the real
Oh, I
estate
didn't know that. I
world.
didn't
There's
know
a word
that.
for it, and I didn't write it down. But
I
you
feel like what I'm learning as I get older is once you hit 70, you're
do whatever you
You're
want.
looking for trouble.
You can.
You're looking for trouble.
I think even the
And
president.
and I can't wait.
The president said today, they're like, "What would you do to fix the country?" And he said, "I'm going to get in trouble for this, but I don't really care."
Yeah.
I know. Ooh, that's political. We're not supposed to talk about it.
Yeah, let's don't do that.
No, you know what? Let's take a break.
Hives.
I got a great conversation with Leah Nash,
From
the executive director of Tamukwa, and Benoit Glazer, the French
I
Canadian
was going
man
to
who
pronounce it
found
the right way. So I
How did you say it? Tamukwa.
no, it's the.
Oh my gosh! Speed it
now
up,
you've got
Scottie.
me. Now you got me all.
I don't-
Timaqua, right?
Yeah,
That's,
it's just
how-
because you haven't eaten your sandwich yet. Let's take
true.
a sandwich
That's true.
break.
All right.
Listen to this quick interview with Tamukwa's head honchos in honor of their 25th anniversary, which is this month. From a modest living room concert space to one of Orlando's most beloved hubs for music and culture, the Tamukwa Arts Foundation has been transforming how we experience live performance for 25 years. This year marks the 25th anniversary of the Tamukwa White House, a testament to its role in shaping Central Florida's creative landscape. Today, I was joined by Leah Nash, Executive Director, and Benoit Glazer, the visionary founder who journeyed from his roots in northern Quebec to the heart of the City Beautiful to create this one-of-a-kind musical sanctuary. We'll talk about the road to 25 years, the challenges and triumphs along the way, and where Tamukwa is going next. Okay, I'll start this. We'll keep it easy. I have a few questions for you. We can go through where you're from, how you got to Orlando,
Sure.
and where you see it going. And we can just maybe wax a little poetic on 25 years.
25 years.
There's a
yeah.
lot of stories he can tell
There's a
you.
lot
Right?
of stories.
Really good
How long do you
stories.
have?
What? As long as we want. This is a bonus episode.
Also have wine.
If you need some wine,
Would you
go
like
ahead.
some wine?
I'm good. I'm not drinking
No,
right now.
I don't drink either.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm from the mountains north of Montreal.
Right, the Laurentians.
The Laurentian Mountains, and you know, I had.
Canadian too. I don't know if you know.
Oh yeah.
I am, yeah. I'm from Northern Ontario.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Sault Ste. Marie.
Sault Ste. Marie. Oh, okay. So northwest.
Yeah.
North. Yeah, north. Not really north. I have family north, like Hearst, north of Hearst.
Oh, okay.
And Ontario, like
Yeah.
near the.
Abitibi.
Yeah,
Yeah.
near James Bay, like basically.
Okay.
So yeah. But so I'm from the Laurentian Mountains, and I grew up like I had an idyllic childhood.
There's not many towns there, like Mont Saint Marie, or like what is.
Saint-Anne-des-Monts is near where I mean Saint-Jérôme is the big town close
Okay.
to where I grew up. We lived in the forest, and I could cross the street and then put on, like in the winter, put on my skis, my cross-country skis, and ski to the Morn Heights studio, which I would do. And then I saw like Rush, you know, like as a kid, like Rod Stewart,
Sure.
Supertramp. bought
Oh
a
my
farm
gosh.
near my house.
Through the window.
Through the window. I would watch them record stuff through the window, you know.
Was it a musical family, Benoit?
My dad. So my dad and my mom, they met. They were folkloric dancers, and they met. That's how they met.
Okay.
But my dad was a fiddler, so totally folkloric musician. His mother was a pretty well-known fiddler, and he played guitar well, and so French chanson, and you know, like that kind of stuff, and as well as our own kind of, you know, our pop music in the 60s and 70s to a certain extent was basically like a new version of folklore, like poetry put into a folkloric kind of
Sounds like beatnik
rapping,
stuff.
you know. Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
the return to the earth, you know. I mean, I was born in Montreal.
Okay.
And then we lived in the suburbs for a few years, and then my dad said, "Nah,
Let's get out of here.
we're going back to the roots, you know, because
Okay.
he came from the woods, and he was I won't go into my parents because I got to write a book about each of them separately, actually. But pretty fascinating parents I had. But
And then
yeah,
you have 2 degrees in music, is that right?
I do, yeah.
Okay.
So what happened is that my dad would jam with his buddies at the house, with
In the kitchen?
in the living room.
Okay.
And then by the fireplace, and then there's always a case of 24 of Molson something or other open, but so I never said anything. And then when I was I would like sit in the staircase, basically and watch the proceedings and never say a word. I never said anything. I used to not talk.
If you want to hear the rest of this fascinating interview, just head on over to your favorite podcasting platform and type in The Orlando Shine Show. The Orlando Shine Show. Fall is coming, and so is the flavor. Join us for the 3rd annual Four Roots Harvest Festival on Saturday, October 11th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Four Roots Farm Campus on John Young Parkway in Orlando. Expect a fun-filled morning with a you-pick pumpkin patch, sunflowers, local produce, and tasty treats. I'm not just talking about me. Food trucks, live music, and a maker's market. Bring the kids for face painting, bounce houses, and scavenger hunts, and even a costume contest. Best part, it's all free to attend. Let's celebrate harvest, good eats, and community. Mark your calendar for October 11th at Four Roots Farm Campus, the Harvest Festival you don't want to miss. Do you live in Orange County? Do you have a library card? If not, there's no time like the present, especially because September is Library Card Sign-Up Month. With Orange County Library System, you can sign up online at ocls.org in just 2 minutes and have access to online materials and resources right away. If you prefer an in-person experience, there are 15 library locations across Orange County full of friendly faces that would love to help. You might even run into the OCLS book bike at events around town. Once you have your card, encourage your friends to get theirs too, and you can explore all the library has to offer together. At OCLS, the library card is your key to free events and programs for all ages, job resources and homework help, streaming and digital content, including ebooks and audiobooks, and event tickets to cultural events and attractions through their local Wanderer program. Just head to ocls.org right now, or wait until you get home and you're not driving. You might think it's all stage, lights, and applause, but there's a whole team behind the scenes making Orlando's art scene shine. Orlando Magazine goes backstage with 9 creatives from local institutions like Dr. Phillips Center, Orlando Philharmonic, Orlando Ballet, and the Orlando Museum of Art to highlight what doesn't always show up in the programs. You'll hear about puppet makers, lighting designers, costume wizards, curators, and more. All the folks stitching sound, sight, and story into the performances and exhibitions we love. It's called Peek Behind the Curtain, and it reminds us how much artistry builds up from the wings. Head to orlandomagazine.com or just go pick up one of their magazines on your local magazine rack. Orlando Magazine.
Ada's got a notebook and a rocket for a brain, marching into mysteries through thunder, heat, and rain. Tracks along the tree line, echoes in the dark. Fear steps back when science answers to quark. Ada Quark, hey! Chart the unknown, storms may rumble, she stands alone. Ada Quark, hey! Measure the night, where legend is shadow, she brings the light.
Marooned in the swamp, Dr. Ada Quark discovered an abandoned government lab and a dying AI called Mother, which warned her of a failed, particularly stinky genetic experiment. With her guide Rex missing and a legend-turned laboratory nightmare on the loose, Ada heads into the dark, hoping to rescue him and find her way home.
Service Hall C. Catwalk over acoustics tank. Blue valves do not touch. Noted.
The lights thin to red threads, then sputter to black. Ada moves through the darkened science facility by shuffling between lightning flashes. Flash, darkness, flash, each pulse a photograph of danger.
Thunderbeat. Count the seconds. 3, Mississippi.
Far below, water slaps concrete. Across the yawning acoustics tank, Ada leaps a missing grate.
Margin of error, deadly.
The grid gives out. Rain writes its own map on the floor, and in the blue-white flash of another lightning strike.
Audio contact. I believe it came through those vents that lead north. That smell's getting stronger, like rotten eggs wrapped in bacon.
A massive cypress tree has ripped open one side of the facility, through which Ada can see a stormwater culvert filled with a makeshift nest of shredded lab coats, mattresses, and debris. Draped over the side, she spots what looks like a human shape.
Rex!
That you, Doc? Man, I thought I was mulch.
Pupil response is okay. No noticeable palpitations. Hydrate. Sip some of this rainwater. Can you crawl?
I can complain. That's halfway to crawling, right?
The smell hits sulfurous animal. A shape moves where light refuses to go, then is gone. Invisible, but not silent, not scentless.
Gene-spliced phenotype. Olfactory dominance. Photonic cloaking. Adaptive refraction. I've seen something similar in octopi, or marsupials, but this is definitely mammal.
The beast inhales her scent. Great theory, Doc. We're leaving, right?
No, Rex, we're leading. Lean on me.
They move. The beast splashes closer. Invisible mass displaces water. Left, right, breathe. Luring the creature along a corridor of valves painted a serene institutional blue. Each lightning flash plays over the semi-translucent surface of the creature as it stalks them from behind. Like a phantom cat with a savaged mouse.
Hey there, culvert creature. Smell this? Esters, the perfume that lured you to the boat. When it charges, duck.
Ada flings her foul-smelling jacket. It slaps against the blue valve bank with a hollow ring. Then the air shimmers as the creature reveals itself, towering over them. A white fur mohawk bristles down its back.
Lord have mercy.
You didn't choose this. I'm sorry.
The beast snatches the reeking jacket as it flies through the air, hurls its shoulder into the blue valve wheel. Those same blue valves that Mother pleaded she never touch spin open.
Get down.
Ada drags Rex behind a concrete stanchion as a concussive geyser of steam and chemicals sprays into the beast. Debris rains down around them. Then silence, but for distant rain. When the air clears, the corridor is torn. The creature lies still, its fur shimmering and guttering into visibility like heat mirage. One giant hand open with the scraps of her jacket in its palm, the white mohawk settling flat.
How'd you know that would work?
It sounded like it was in pain. Like whatever the scientist did didn't really click as a whole. It wasn't thinking. I'm always thinking. I scienced my way out of it, Rex. Come on, let's get out of here.
Outside, the rain softens. Frogs resume their chorus. Behind a set of abandoned hangars, Ada finds a tinny outboard on a skiff tied to a service dock, with a container of gas sitting beside it, waiting like a chocolate mint on a hotel pillow.
Next time, Doc, we go fishing. Or drinking at Epcot.
Next time, for sure. But first, I have a report to file. And a letter to write to every ethics board on Earth.
Dawn will smudge the horizon soon. Our heroes point the bow towards civilization, carrying questions that bite harder than a teething baby alligator. Who ordered the making of a monster? What else sleeps in the files that Mother tried to guard? And where did that second voice in the swamp go? Join us next time for Ada Quark versus something else. Same station, different swamp. Science will return.
I made this record for you to jam, so use it.
Welcome back to the Orlando Shine Show. This is Brendan O'Connor from the Orlando Shine, and with me today is...
Scottie Campbell.
Yeah, my gay boyfriend.
I'm so much more than that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
My
gay,
life.
I'm so much more than gay and...
Yeah, my roommate.
And
my roommate and special
roommate.
friend. That's what my granny would say. We're talking about the news here in Central Florida. And actually, the first item I want to talk about is not a news item per se.
Uh-huh.
It's part of my ongoing history column, Once Upon a Time.
Yeah,
and
you talked about...
do you remember?
It wasn't Jernigan, that was another one.
It's Louis Kim Gong.
Oh, yeah, Louis Kim Gong.
Louis.
And you said in your research you found that people called him Louis,
Yeah.
but I have never heard that before.
Well, because you're at the History Center where
who
you
was
read.
This gentleman?
He was a horticulturalist in DeLand, and he was known as the Citrus Wizard, Scottie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a big,
Sounds like a
beautiful
really cool
mural
guy.
of him holding his pet rooster, who I forget his name, but I have it in here somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
And
that was news to me, too. I didn't know he had
March
a name.
was his name, and it used to follow him everywhere. And you know why it followed him everywhere, Scottie, that rooster?
Because he would give them things.
Oh, probably, because he had snacks in
but
his
he
pocket.
saved him. I like
But he
to
saved
save
him from
better,
a hawk
yeah.
on the property.
Oh, my
yeah,
gosh.
and Louis came here. He came to America in like 1830s, and he was born in China, and he was brought over to go work at a shoe factory or something stupid, and he was partnered with a tutor, Miss Fanny, who ended up adopting him and then bringing him down to Florida to live with her and her sister in DeLand, where they had a citrus farm, and he grew up on a farm, so he knew some things.
And you can see there's a cool mural of him, and there's also like a bust somewhere in DeLand.
Yeah, and he came up with a type of orange that was frost resistant.
Which was, you said, was the Valencia, right?
Yeah.
We call it the Valencia.
He combined the Hart's Late Valencia with a Mediterranean sweet orange. So it was a little sweeter, it's frost resistant because it would fruit before the frosts came too. So it was just really smart, really cool, interesting guy. Read all about him on the OrlandoShine.com. I love that.
Yeah.
That's my favorite thing about, being able to highlight people and things that not a lot of people know about here in Orlando. Learn about him. And there's some interesting clips so you can hear people say his name out loud. If you are like Scottie and you're mad at how I'm saying it, just go watch the things that I did. You'll learn all about it. Maitland Art Center is undergoing a major expansion.
Okay.
Yeah, which is very interesting. It's actually the first major expansion since its founder, Jules Andre Smith, died in 1959. And they're building this giant 6,000 square foot education space out behind the property, closer to the lake. And that way that they're going to move all their educational things over and then free up space on the main campus for what it was originally intended for,
Like an
artist
community.
residencies.
Yeah.
Which have been, I think, on hold for the most part since the pandemic. So they're going to be relaunching that very soon. Their in-house artist
I didn't realize that because I have known artists
who've done
lived
it.
there.
Boy
yeah.
Kong did stuff there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they don't live on site, but they get access to the space. They basically can come and go as they please.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting. Go check that out. $2.5 million project. That's a huge thing for them.
Well, that's a lot of money.
Yeah. And actually, you know what? We didn't touch on this. We were talking about that guy who lost his poop over in Mills 50 and he started stabbing people. That's a mental health issue, Clearly, he had a mental health something and he lost it. He didn't have the tools he needed to properly deal with some stress that was happening at work. It's hard in the food and beverage industry. And so I just want to say, I heard about this. The Southern Smoke Foundation, they're huge across the states. They provide free mental health programming to food and beverage workers, and not just mental health stuff. If you think maybe if there was something that happened at work and you don't have enough money to pay for your bills, they can help you do that. They have grants for food and beverage people.
Very cool.
Love them. They were huge for New Orleans after the New Year's Eve incident. They had to close down the French Quarter because that guy went crazy and drove his car in there. So they have expanded to Florida. All Florida food and beverage workers now have access to free mental health care through the Southern Smoke Foundation. I spoke with them. I got them 10 questions that they answered. They were very nice about what that looks like, the scope, and why maybe Florida and Orlando are a good spot to be offering those services.
Right.
So read that interview. I'm really proud of how it went.
Good.
And, toot my horn there a little bit.
Yeah, no, that sounds like a really smart thing because you think about it, and somebody who is in that industry is actively supporting themselves in that moment, the service that they're providing,
and often in an financially insecure environment, right? Because anything could happen. If you miss a shift or something happens, it can be, that means a bill, right?
Yeah.
And if you have kids or if something happens to your car, it's a big issue. So Southern Smoke Foundation is a great safety net for people like that. They're not paying me to talk about this. I just believe in it enough to let everybody know.
Yeah, no, that
Check
sounds
it out.
great. Also, just be nice to people.
Unless they suck.
Unless they.
Just kidding.
I'm not sure you're helping.
I'm not helping. Y'all remember that mural in Apopka that we've been talking about now for 3 weeks?
Well, the former mural, right? Or now it's a. Oh gosh, I'm going to forget the guy's name. The artist who used to do color blocks.
What?
Anyway,
Yeah,
I was
you
trying to
like
make
Kusama?
a joke that an erudite joke about an artist.
Great joke, Scottie. Great joke. Everybody loved it.
Rothko. There we go. There
Rothko?
we go. Now it's a giant
Even
Rothko.
better. Even better. Everybody knows who
welcome.
Rothko is. Killing it. Apopka. There was a Apopka Main Street, which has not gotten a lot of money traditionally from the city of Apopka. I want to say they got $12,000 for a year.
Yeah, you cannot do anything with that.
Right? As someone who used to work at Main Street,
Right.
you know how tough it is. They didn't even have a staff person. It was all a volunteer board.
Yeah.
They commissioned a piece of art that turned out to, and they were inspired by somebody else in Iowa. They literally took it, changed a couple things, and asked someone and paid someone to paint it here.
Yeah.
That person didn't know that it was
Unknowingly,
copied.
yeah.
They got in trouble from the artist. Apopka, the city of Apopka, was so embarrassed that they have now pulled their funding, what little funding they gave to Apopka Main Street. That mural has been painted over, and we'll see what happens. But Apopka Main Street is not talking to anybody. I've asked them, are you sticking around? What does this look like? They are an independent nonprofit, so the city can't close them.
Right.
But that's literally what they're trying to do by pulling their funding. Big bummer, because, Apopka needs somebody to lead the charge for renovations downtown, and the city's not doing it.
Yeah.
So it's a bummer. It's a bummer for them. And I know it was just a bummer of a situation in total that could have been
Sure.
avoided. But, there's other main streets right now that are going through things too. Like Curry Ford has had some kerfuffle. They hired their board. I don't know if I'm even supposed to talk about this, but I guess I'll let it. It's too late. Curry Ford Main Street hired a consultant, I think from St. Pete, to do something, and that consultant didn't talk to the property owners, or they talked to the property owners, but they didn't talk to the business owners that are in the property that they're going to paint a mural, and now there's like a big hullabaloo. I don't know much, but it's tough. It's tough out there doing mural projects. I've been trying to help Soto do theirs, and
yeah.
Oh my gosh, it seems like all summer.
Yeah.
Right? And the city moves things. It's like musical chairs sometimes.
Yeah.
And so my heart goes out to people who are in the fight, because we're just trying to art it up,
Yep.
Winter Park now has an ordinance that restricts protests near the library and MLK Junior Park, because they didn't want people interrupting anything. If there was a big event or a rental or something, they didn't want any protests to kind of ruin someone's special wedding day or something.
Oh,
so
I see.
It was the idea.
Yeah.
And then one of the commissioners was like, well, we've only had one protest that's open, so what is this about? Why do we need this? And I picked it up because I was like, well, how are you going to name a park after MLK Junior Park?
And
Dr. King.
Not have the protests be inspired,
right? It's so crazy.
Yeah, well,
because
then
he argued against things.
Where do you protest when you're in Winter Park?
No, you can't do Park Avenue because there's rules against that.
Yeah.
So you got to go
And
somewhere
the
where
City
people
Hall
are
is
not.
on Park Avenue.
Nobody in Winter Park wants to see a protest, Scottie. They want you to do it somewhere where people aren't.
You know what happens then? That inspires people to protest.
I know. It's like, sounds like a great place to do a protest then, if you really want the city to hear
We're
you.
here to protest the protest.
Yeah, here.
What?
What? I think Dr. King even specifically spoke multiple times about how the government can't restrict or shouldn't restrict our right to gather, our right to assemble, right?
Yeah.
So, just interesting that they would even do that, and especially to follow after putting up that weird bobblehead statue of him in the park that everybody's hating. How are you going to put up a bobblehead statue to Dr. King and then say you can't protest anything?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. They didn't want anybody to protest the bobblehead.
They were protesting. Yeah, maybe that's it. They didn't want to call any attention to the statue.
And speaking of bobbleheads, John Morgan, did you hear about what he just dropped
backed
out
of the baseball thing?
Yeah. And he said it's because they're using Orlando as a prop to renegotiate.
I have a theory
keeping
that
the Rays in Tampa.
He just doesn't like the new guy who came in with
more
the
money.
Yeah,
because because the Dreamers were like, well, he was really only funding about a quarter of it, and we could make up with that, and with other donors. So no real big hit. But he had famously said he was going to spend, I think, $250 million.
We just need John Morgan to concentrate on pot. We are not done with that. So
come on, John Morgan.
Come on, finish the task.
But he can't. He's too high. He's too high, and he lives in Hawaii, so he's like, oh.
He lives in Hawaii?
Yeah.
How do you know that?
Famously. I don't know. I just know
you
things.
guys are buds?
Yeah, we're like that.
Pardon the pun.
I should stop talking smack about him so he'll invite me.
And just to dispel a myth, he does have his driver's license. I saw a video.
Now. Black Bean Deli just gave an update on their long-delayed winter garden location. They've been talking about it for 2 years now that it was coming, but they're in a historic building on Plant Street in the old New York Bagel Deli and Pizza. If that rings a bell.
Yeah.
They posted some photos. The outside looks gorgeous, but on the inside it's just a pile of bricks.
Yeah.
Yeah, we shared that photo on OrlandoShine.com. You can go check it out or just go check out their socials. But Black Bean Deli, it would be their third location. And Andres Cortone, I've met him a few times. The first time I met him, Scottie, was at the opening of his Winter Park location. And he was standing, and he was nervous. He had almost postponed the media night because the AC wasn't exactly where he wanted it. And when I walked in, he had a temperature gun pointed at a corner in his Winter Park store, and he was just making sure that it was hitting the right number before he let everybody come in, because he wanted everything to be perfect. And so that's the kind of guy he is. He has a vision. He has some numbers he wants to hit, and he's very intentional. So I can imagine in renovating a historic property, he wants to make sure that everything is perfect before people come in.
Well, good.
Yeah, so I trust him. You guys leave him alone. People are like, when are you opening? What's happening? He was supposed to be open this summer.
Oh, I see.
But it from the looks of it, I would say next summer.
Yeah.
But I'm not even going to assign a date to it because leave him alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then this is the first time, y'all, I've segmented the events. So I would intersperse them before. I've gone back to grouping the events together. So I have some fun things happening this weekend.
Okay.
This is our little event segment. This is me announcing it officially.
Buckle up.
There's the tattoo show at Osceola Heritage Park, which is
cool.
all weekend, Scotty. Yeah. 250 to 300 tattoo artists. You want to go?
Yeah, we'll get the Orlando Shine logo tattooed on us.
They're having daily competitions where they get cash prizes for best of show and stuff like that. So they're looking to do some really cool pieces. There are workshops for professional tattooists or maybe people who just want to watch. You can see them talk about how to do it the best. Admission is $25 to get in, or $50 if you want to go all 3 days. Franco's Flop Fest, the belly flop contest that happens every year.
Baldwin Park, as
Baldwin
I say.
Park. What?
I say on because it used to be the Navy base, and you would go on base.
On base.
So I always say on Baldwin.
There you
Park.
go, guys. That's how you know someone's old. If they say on Baldwin Park, you know they've been here a long time.
I don't care. I'm 58 and I'm still here.
Good. The fun kicks off at noon on Sunday. It's going to run until 5 p.m. With road closures from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. But it's like a pop-up beer garden, marketplace, food trucks, and then there's a huge pool that's right in the center.
Right.
I'm going to be there. I'm a judge. I don't know who the other judges are. I've asked, and they
judging.
did not tell me. I do love judging, but I specifically love judging hot frat guys jumping into pools with their shirts off.
Don't build it up like that.
Well, there are
that's
also
not true.
a lot of dad bods.
It's a mix.
It is
It's a mix.
It's
and
a
you'll
mix.
have some, a skinny girl in a duck suit.
Oh my
and
gosh!
Things like that.
With her chicken cutlet showing. I told her. She jumped in. I was like, "Girl, you didn't. That's see through.
Yeah.
And there are kids here.
And it's cold water.
Also, why are people bringing their kids to a beer festival? Because it's really at its core a beer festival. I'm tired of seeing kids at beer festivals.
I know. We don't need to go down that road, but I do think parents need to think about who they're going to be. Their kids are going to be hanging around.
Yes. Booze and Bites Festival by the Battle Bros Events on the Space Coast.
Oh,
is
are we
this
going to that?
Saturday? We are. They
Okay.
gave us 2 tickets because we talked about them.
Oh, and you're taking me.
I thought that was nice. I'm
That's
thinking
so
about
sweet.
taking you.
I mean, we're just roommates.
Well, I can't eat the food or drink the drinks, so you're going to be doing that all for me.
I'm eating for 2.
I'm there to hold your hair. Nehrling Gardens is hosting their fall plant sale on Saturday as well.
It's such a cool place. If you've never
We should
been,
do
you
that
must
too.
go.
9 a.m. to noon because they're old people running it. All volunteers. They can't. They'll turn into an organic pumpkin if
That
they're
is
up
not
past
true.
noon o'clock.
Oh my gosh!
It's taking place in Gotha at the historic Henry Nehrling site, which is a Florida heritage landmark.
Yep.
Gorgeous.
It is.
I
It's
used
a really
to be,
cool house too.
I used to be friends with the caretaker there back in the day before I made him mad at me and he ran away. But we used to smoke dope on the porch there at the historic site. That's what I think of every time. Church Street, there's a Murals on Church Street live painting event happening Saturday too.
Yeah.
A bunch of different artists are working with Paramore Main Street to do a bunch of murals there, and you can go and visit them, and they're going to have like a street party atmosphere where you
awesome.
can hang
I've seen
out.
some video. There's some really cool work coming in.
Really cool work. Holler at our Space Coast people. Daytona Lagoon is offering free admission to first responders and military people this weekend.
Daytona Lagoon?
Yeah, it's like a water park in downtown Daytona Beach, which I didn't know anything about.
A lagoon is not offshore, so don't go saying
No.
Yeah.
No, don't say offshore. And that's it, you guys. Thanks so much for letting us be a part of your Friday evening. Scottie, you have anything to say to the people?
Oh, sure. If I could just do it for my own self edification, if that's the right word.
Oh my gosh, speed it
History
up.
Center is celebrating 25 years at the downtown location.
Love it.
In our 1927 historic courthouse, and from the 16th through the 29th, we'll be having a special of 25% off membership. We're encouraging people to give $25, $250, or $2,500 to the Historical Society of Central Florida, which is our partner, and we'll be having 25% off in the store on select items.
So good. Scottie, thanks for filling in for John.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be breaking the seal on the Orlando Shine appearance.
Go say hi to Scottie on the Orlando Shine Twitter and Blue Sky accounts if you haven't already. The Orlando Shine. You know, don't send him any sassy, sexy things thinking it's me, because you'll just get me in trouble.
From the theme parks to downtown brick streets, from winter garden to sandy bare feet, everywhere the light touches is our kingdom. We're spilling tea